they don't need to be doing that. So I think you know what? I'm getting older. This kind of talk I used to hear from my. Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. In this video, I'll tell you about a Filipina helper steals over 200,000 pesos from her employer. Another passenger ferry sinks, this time in Indonesia. Filipino crew members of a cruise ship deported from the US. Foreigners continue to get into trouble abroad, and much more, beginning with the peso at the USD exchange rate. Right now, one US dollar equal to about 57.1. Here's our main story. A 33-year-old household helper in Davao Occidental was arrested on July 20th, 2025, after allegedly stealing 225,000 pesos from her employer. The suspect, identified only as alias Jenny, a resident of Santa Maria, Davao Occidental, was accused by her employer alias Jessa, 52 years old, of taking the money from her savings. The victim discovered the missing cash around 11:15 a.m. and asked the helper to return it. Jenny later came back with only 20,000 pesos. Already, I guess she spent over 200k pesos that quickly. What's happening here? Come on, man. I don't know who's dumber. The employer for leaving all that cash laying around somewhere that's accessible, or this person that thought they could steal it without the employer knowing? Let me know if you had any experience dealing with anyone like this, because I've never had helpers in my life. But Philippines is one of those places that I'm sure, given the wages and the circumstances, you may be able to get a house helper. Then again, I never stayed in any place bigger than like a room or two, so I clean up after myself. But I don't got kids or a family or a bunch of stuff. I know people got different situations. If you had any experience getting helper, let me know what that's been like. Were you able to find someone you trust, someone that was good to you? Because I know a lot of people stick with the same family for decades almost. They go on trips and travel, and they just come along because they become part of the family. I think they're called yayas, if I'm not mistaken. It's embarrassing if I'm wrong, but yeah, just because I'm not around that kind of I don't got kids either, so I don't need any assistance. Let me know if you've had any kind of Filipino help and what's that been like. Also, where do you find them? I guess on Facebook or acquaintances or something like that. Moving on to some misbehaving foreigners still in the Philippines. A Vietnamese national and 11 others were arrested in an entrapment operation at a clinic allegedly offering illegal cosmetic procedures without proper permits. Authorities say the clinic had no license and failed to show the brands of the products they used. You know, when I was growing up in the 90s, getting plastic surgery, some kind of work done was a huge deal, you know? Somebody got fake chest or something, was like, whoa. Nowadays, I don't know, everywhere in the world that I've traveled to, especially with the younger generation, I don't know what's going on. 19, 20-year-olds getting lip fillers and all that. Why? I don't understand. I guess the Instagram and social media is crazy. To me, it looks clownish. I don't want to be rude or disrespectful to anybody. But as a man, there's no need. You're youthful, you're young, and you still look good. I get it if you're getting older like me. I might get some work done too. So I understand, it happens, whatever. We want to look better. But to me, it's the younger crowd. Why are they getting it? I've seen very younger, 18, 19, 20, all over TikTok, social media, promoting all these injections. I don't understand. I mean, what? It's just something I just can't grasp, because whenever I travel, I see very attractive people, and they don't need to be doing that. So I think you know what? I'm getting older. This kind of talk I used to hear from my parents and grandparents, and I used to laugh. I'm like, you old heads. But now I'm starting to see what they're talking about. Anyways, let's go on to our next story. A 24-year-old Indian man was found unresponsive by the medical team after the motorcycle he was driving reportedly crashed into the railing of a flyover in Cebu City around 5 a.m. Unfortunately, he did not survive, and he had a friend that was following him behind. He said that the guy driving the bike was intoxicated and he was speeding, and this is what happened. Unfortunately, he did not make it at the hospital. They pronounced him not alive. Also, a 79-year-old person that I guess just collecting trash passed away getting into a motorcycle accident. I'm telling you about this because this is nothing new. It happens very often on a daily basis. But the difference here, or at least I want you guys to know, that the family was able to settle outside the court because the guy that hit her said that he's going to pay for the funeral and all that. So I want to bring that up because in the Philippines, sometimes, first of all, I'm really, I don't want to say proud of the guy, but I'm glad he didn't write off after hitting her and just hit and run kind of thing. He stuck around and said that she came out of nowhere, basically. My point is, in the Philippines, when you come to collision, sometimes you can basically, I don't want to say buy your way out, but you can come to an agreement with the family and just basically settle outside of court. and no matter how severe the cases are, such as like passing away like this. But let me know if you know any details about that. I'm not a lawyer, but things are just different. The legal system is, of course, different from back home. So I'm always curious to see any kind of news stories about this. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has arrived in Washington, D.C., obviously the U.S., for a working visit aimed to further strengthen Philippines-U.S. bilateral relations. I wonder what they're going to talk about and if anything's going to happen. Speaking of Filipinos in the U.S., check this next story, which is kind of crazy to me. Well, maybe not. I don't really know the details, but at least 18 Filipino crew members were forcibly removed, handcuffed, from a Carnival Sunshine cruise ship in Norfolk, Virginia during a U.S. immigration raid. Despite holding a valid 10-year working visa and having no criminal charges, they were deported and banned from re-entering the U.S. for 10 years. Filipino-American groups, including the Filipino Workers Center and NAFA, condemned the incident as unjust escalation of immigration enforcement, describing the deportation as humiliating and financially devastating for the workers and their families. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection confirmed an ongoing operation but gave no specific details. Other cruise lines like Vikings and Pearl Seas cruises have reportedly also been affected. Advocacy groups are demanding accountability and asking the Philippines government to do something about it. A press conference was scheduled to address this issue. Like I said, I don't know too much details. I'd assume there must be a reason if they're doing that to go on a cruise ship, but I know the U.S. raids have been going on for a while now. A lot of people complaining about the legalities of it, and once again, not really my place to say. Maybe it is a little bit as an immigrant myself at some point. Of course, I think legal immigration is fine, but if they have proper visas and all that, I'm just trying to see what maybe the reason, so maybe some more details will come out later on. And then a woman in Bangkok is raising concerns after being physically confronted inside a 7-Eleven store. The suspect was reportedly fined only 500 baht, okay, so $15, for causing a disturbance despite claims that the situation involved physical aggression. The woman later shared her experience online in both Thai and in English, calling for improvements in how authorities handle such incidents. Her story has led to growing concerns about public safety, justice, and the need for stronger support for those affected by similar actions. Yeah, imagine doing that to a woman in Canada or the US. What do you think is going to happen to the guy? You think a $15 charge? Yeah, this is what I talk about when I say Thai police are lenient towards foreigners. I don't think it's a secret. A lot of people say, oh, it's not fair, whatever. But if you want to compare like exact situations, consider what that would do to somebody in a Western country to do that, as you saw in the video, to a woman especially, or anybody really. And then in a sad story, Indonesian rescuers evacuating people from a passenger ferry that caught fire at sea on Monday. More than 560 were rescued and 3 people have lost their lives. And even in Thailand, I think a 16-passenger boat capsized, and unfortunately, 1 guide and 2 people basically, from last I heard, passed away in that one too. It's that time of year. The waters can get really rough. The ocean is unforgiving. And then Bangkok has been named the top city worldwide for digital nomads in 2025. The city scored high on affordability, internet speed, quality of life, and visa access, with fast broadband averaging 250 megabits and a low cost of living around 1,500 a month. Remote workers appreciate Bangkok's many co-working spaces and vibrant culture. The destination Thailand visa further supports easy stays. Bangkok offers a unique blend of modern conveniences and local charm, making it an attractive hub for remote workers seeking both productivity and experience compared to 1,300 other cities they've done a survey about. Can't really argue with that. Let me know if you've been to Bangkok. What are your thoughts and experiences there? If you are especially a digital nomad or just a traveler visiting the land of smiles. And now here's a story I saw, a video actually, of someone rescuing a tourist. They said she's basically a street vendor selling corn, saw a tourist in the water and saved her life. Tell me what you think of this video. Write your thoughts down below about that. I'm curious to see what other people think about it, because to me, I don't want to be a complete skeptic or whatever, although I am, I think, by nature. I don't believe everything I see. It seemed odd. The woman was face down in the water in that position, and as soon as she got touched, she even raised her head before she got touched, I think. And then it just doesn't look right. I'm not a professional lifeguard, but if she was unconscious, how does she suddenly become the whole thing just looks staged to me. Am I like losing my mind? Am I seeing too many AI videos? So now I question everything. Yeah, leave your thoughts down below, especially if you're a person of the water, if you're a fish or a lifeguard, or someone that knows how to swim. Unlike me, I'll be splashing my arms in the air trying to get somebody to help me. You know, I wouldn't just like put my face down, wait for somebody, and wonder once they come, hey, let's go, let's get out of here. All right. Speaking of getting out of here, maybe I should get out of here. Now it's time for a segment, Yesterday Today, where I share some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video. EL Play Mix says, thank you for keeping us updated. This channel has become my everyday routine to watch. That is such a compliment. I am flattered to hear that. Thank you for making me part of your day. I know I'm similar. Whenever I have my morning coffee or something, I watch the same kind of channels on YouTube. It's becomes like part of my daily routine. So I'm glad to hear that I've become part of your daily routine. And I've almost got a funky hat, man. I'm looking out the window. I'm very distracted. I'm easily distracted. I'm like a dog when they see a squirrel. Next up, Robert Cole. Long time no hear from you, bud. Really sad for the families of the deceased. Prayers and condolences for them. Yes, definitely. This is from yesterday's capsized boat, and once again, more boats going under today. I'm trying to find some more comments here. Hey, amigo says, getting married? Nah, I'm good. I'm good too, bro. Marriage ain't for me right now. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Unless I meet the love of my life.